Hey, everybody. Hope you're having a good morning or afternoon, wherever you are. We'll get started in just a little bit here once the space fills up a little bit. But good morning to you either way. Hey, mic check here. Homestead, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Coming through clear.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good. Donnie, how you doing?
Doing awesome. Is that Brady?
Yeah, it's Brady.
Oh, hey Brady. Good morning. Good afternoon. Hey Homestead.
Nice. I think,
Is Donnie speaking?
yes, you couldn't hear him?
No, I'm messing around.
Oh my God. Today of all days. Don, I think Shane's gonna hop up and we're gonna chat like a little bit, updates and things like that about Stargaze first, and then we'll move to the kind of creator interviews and discussion for the second half of it. So I'll get Yo-Yo up here as well, but we can wait for those discussions a little bit later, and we'll just we'll chat a little bit because it's an exciting day. I'll start just with a couple quick updates. There's a Commonwealth prop up for a Stars Bitcoin pool. That is you can take a look at it. There's some additional components where, the fees generated from that pool would be put into a kind of raffle for Stars stakers. And this is something where you would be taking the marketplace revenue in other denominations, converting that into Bitcoin, pairing it with Stars, to build up Stars liquidity in tokens outside of Cosmos, basically, to build up BTC liquidity and diversify it away from the present liquidity, which is, primarily Osmo, primarily Atom, just to kind of have a healthier spread. There's some other components of Prop 292 that are kind of under discussion as well. I encourage people to revisit that. That was the proposal where we shifted the marketplace fees direction. And some things like discussion of things like gas and things like that. So I encourage people to revisit that if you are looking for some idea of the things that are the team's working on proposing for the token. Upcoming mints, we got Fruitopia coming next week. This is the first collection that is minted while being stored on Jackal. So it's really cool to see NFTs stored on Jackal. So their hosting is on chain as well. They're doing like a kind of fun make your own fruit competition right now. And yeah, so keep an eye out for that. And I see that a few projects are migrating to Jackal as well. So if that's something that any project's interested in doing, I think you can reach out to the Jackal team for that. There's a Union NFT mint coming up in about 2 weeks. And that's something that I think we'll have more information on kind of next week, but it's the whale sharks. And people can check out that Twitter to see some of the posts about it. It's linked with Union, who Stargaze is partnered with for working on interoperability with NFTs. And it's a mint related to their trusted setup ceremony, which was launched a few months ago. And then that's it. There's no other news, nothing else to discuss today. I'm just joking. But yeah, Shane's up, so I want to say hello to Shane. And how you doing, man?
Hey, Brady, how's it going, man?
Oh, good.
Great to see everyone here.
Yeah. So we have there's a whole hullabaloo this morning that I missed a little bit because I'm on the West Coast. But there's kind of a stake CEO post about discussion around Stargaze being on the hub. So I was wondering if you wanted to chat a little bit about like what those discussions may be, where they may be at, and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. All right. So first I'll give maybe a little bit of background here. So I think a couple of weeks ago, Mag from Interchain Labs, formerly Skip, I think he just posted in a Telegram chat about how there's an NFT platform that might launch on the hub, and just kind of maybe hinted around a little bit about Stargaze. And then I think what happened was some people just kind of took that and ran with that and just kind of maybe took it as fact or something and started speculating on what's going on. And then some people, got kind of excited about it and just started tweeting about it and stuff like that. But basically what's happening is that we're talking to Skip Interchain Labs about maybe potentially migrating to the hub. And kind of unifying the Cosmos ecosystem, right? So right now we have a situation kind of much like Ethereum and its layer twos, where you have like all these kind of like smaller app chains, and then you have Cosmos Hub, which is one of the highest market cap Cosmos chains, but it doesn't really have much activity on it besides staking, right? And Interchain Labs, formerly Skip, kind of has this vision of kind of defragmenting the ecosystem and kind of aligning everything around kind of this like one hub chain, maybe a bit similar to like the vision of like Solana, where you have like one chain that's super fast and you have all this apps on one chain. So we've just been talking to them about the future of Stargaze and potentially working with them, increasing liquidity, getting on the same like level playing field as some of the bigger marketplaces and NFT platforms like Magic Eden and like OpenSea, right? So if we do work with the hub, we have potential to just expose Stargaze to a much bigger audience, significantly increase usage, volume, all that kind of stuff. So still in the very, very early phases of this. We're still talking. It's lots of stuff to figure out, but that's where we are. As you guys know, blockchains are very complicated beasts. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of stakeholders. Like this isn't something that's easy. You can just happen in a couple of days, right? So lots of discussions has to be had. We got to talk to all the stakeholders, validators, power users, like everyone, and figure this out. So that's where we are right now. I want to be as open and transparent as I can. So I'm here to answer any questions, concerns you guys have about it. But just want to say again that it's still very, very early phases, and we're still trying to figure stuff out.
I think another thing is that like, conversations happen all the time. And I think it's probably not the first time that Stargaze has been like approached by chains with like a higher market cap saying like, hey, is there any kind of way that you can deploy here, that sort of thing, right? And I was curious, like from your perspective right now, what are like some of the priorities for you, if you're having any kind of discussion with them?
Yeah, I mean, there are I don't want to mention names, but like even ecosystems outside of Cosmos that have reached out to us because they have identified that we have built this like awesome product, right? And the token doesn't necessarily kind of like align with the strength of the product because it suffered some adverse effects back in the day, and now we want to work towards kind of correcting and fixing all that stuff. But there is several other teams of projects have reached out to us and want to support Stargaze and make it a bigger thing. So we have to kind of explore every angle here, right? But I really do like the new direction Cosmos is going in. To be honest, it's all about the people, and I have a lot of faith in the Skip dudes, Mag and Barry, like completely solid people. They're people I'd love to work with. So yeah, there's right, yeah. So it's still kind of early days, and we're still trying to figure this stuff out. But we do want to interface as much as possible with other ecosystems, right? Like one thing we want to focus on is interoperability, right? Being able to go super quickly and easily in and out of like Sol, ETH, BTC, right? We want to integrate with like the biggest ecosystems, bring a lot more eyes and a lot more users, especially this year, because I think this year there's a lot of new retail users that are going to be coming back. I think also just kind of being based in the US, I think there's a lot of attention on like US based crypto also now. So I think that's an advantage for us as well. Lots of exciting things coming.
So I guess if we just to separate like fact from rumor, at this point, it's like Skip and the Hub have identified Stargaze as like one of the top products in the Cosmos ecosystem. they've reached out. They're interested in some kind of deployment on the hub and some kind of broader partnership. And then it's just basic conversation on that. and maybe announcements and things like that from third parties today are not really rooted in the state, the state of negotiations, so to speak. And then I guess my next question would be like, what would next steps be, if you're having conversations with them, and how does the community get involved in that?
Yeah. So the main priority here is that like Stargaze has existed for a long time. It has its own token. It has its own governance. It has its own community. Right. So we cannot lose sight of that. Right. That's the most important thing. And we want to make sure that people who've been around for a long time and even new users are feeling included. Right. And, even all of us have skin in the game here. Right. So we want this to be a successful thing. So basically what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks is that we kind of have to go over all the details, all the technical details, all the financial details, right? And figure out if and how to make something like this work, right? Because it involves like migration of assets. There's ton of NFTs. There's also fungible tokens, right? And also there's several Stargaze products, right? It's not just a marketplace. There's Launchpad. There's even a DEX, right? And then there's just, a ton of third parties, right? Exchanges, all these kind of things. So there's really a lot of people to talk to and a lot of things to figure out. And also we want to do like a kind of like a big marketing push here, right? No matter what we end up doing, we want to make a big splash. We want to make everyone aware of this, right? And the regulatory environment is a lot more friendlier now, right? It was just really hard for a long time because for the longest time, like you couldn't be like based in the US and even talk about the token, right? So that is changing now. So that's kind of on our side as well.
And I guess all of these things, like you said, there's stakeholders. So a lot of different stakeholders in Stargaze, like, people who are just staking the token. There's NFT projects, there's users. They all have a distinct set of interests. So there has to be a lot of consultation with them in leading up to like whatever the proposal may be. And then that's something that would have to pass through governance as well. So I think we're looking at kind of a few weeks before we kind of see what the proposal might be, right?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, it's gonna take some time. And I don't even think it's gonna be one proposal. It's probably gonna be a series of them. And probably both on the Stargaze side, both on the hub side as well. And talking to all the validators and the holders to kind of figure out what will make everyone happy. I mean, it's impossible to make everyone happy, obviously, right? But we want to make as most people happy as possible.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then, I guess the Stakecito may have posted it, but so they were just speculating based on the leaked or there was a Telegram message that I think Mag made that was kind of hinting at something happening. And they're trying to fraud about it.
Like, we haven't talked to like anybody except for like Skip and ICL. So like if anyone's saying anything, they're just completely speculating.
Or it's a tactic to divide us, right? And throw a grenade in the other side. Who knows?
So that's right. So there's always going to be some kind of drama, but like, this stuff is very difficult. There's just so many people involved. There's so many stakeholders. There's a lot of people with skin in the game. There's a lot of people who've been around in the ecosystem for a long time. A ton of people want to see it do well. Some people might be, heard about various things or whatever. And it is just, people are just going to speculate. This is crypto. There's just the nature of the ecosystem that we're in. So, I'm kind of used to it, and I even expect stuff like this, right? It shows that people are passionate about it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's kind of an opportunity to make a good argument for the value of Stargaze and the broader ecosystem within it, because, Stargaze has so many assets. There's the product, like the UX, there's each individual project on it, right? in total, it's this smaller but a very robust ecosystem. And of course, like the community, just generally speaking, is very, very loud, like very passionate, lots of diehards, and so I hope if there's negotiations ongoing or whatever, that's something that side sees. You know what I mean? Because I think that when they're making an assessment, like we kind of said before, okay, they've identified Stargaze as something they really want to partner with. They might not be seeing even how great it is beyond their initial assessment, right? I wonder if Homestead, if you had any questions or comments you wanted to make.
Not really, not offhand right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, anything else on that for now, Shane? Like, I know it's tough because there isn't actually a lot to like share per se, because like you said, it's really, really early conversations, and there's like a bomb dropped today with like a little post that basically said it was official. So yeah, I'm not sure if you had anything else you wanted to comment on with that.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can say is, I want to be as transparent as and authentic as possible I can with you guys. So, as I learn more, I will, share it on X or from the Stargaze account, and kind of keep all you guys aligned and posted as we kind of work through this and figure it out.
Great, and I'll if anybody has any questions or comments or anything, you can reply with them. We're going to move into like discuss, our scheduled conversation with the creators in like a few minutes. But if anybody wants to like reply with a question, you're more than welcome to. I see there's a request from Adam, so I'm going to invite Adam up to see if he has a question. Adam, are you there?
Hey, yeah, sorry, it went mute for a second. I couldn't hear anything, but I'm here. I guess just a question about moving stars to the hub, and obviously super early, super, nothing is official or anything. Well, the whole ethos I thought of Cosmos was independent chains. We can have, Cosmos go down or Juno go down or Akash go down, and everything else works. If we start moving everything to one chain, it sort of defeats the whole purpose of IBC and Cosmos. If we're, and I guess
You're cutting out there, Adam.
sorry about that. My phone went to sleep. I apologize. I will keep clicking on it as I talk. So I don't know how much cut out, but I guess my first thought is Cosmos, we're supposed to have independent chains that don't rely on each other to work. And if we all move to the hub, that sort of defeats the purpose. Second, if we're moving the marketplace to another blockchain, we might as well go big and go somewhere like Solana, where there's a lot more users, a lot more money, a lot more liquidity. But I just want to throw that out there. I know it's super early, so I don't want to like be angry and mad about it, but just throwing out some thoughts. I'll be quiet now.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question, and I was sold on the app-chain thesis for a long time, and that's why I decided to build with Cosmos Tech in the first place, right? But it's played out a little differently over the past years, right? So we've seen like the biggest kind of players in the space, like if you look at Ethereum, right, it kind of fragmented into all the layer twos, and it just kind of like opened the door for Solana to like really take off, right? So it just seems like all the new retail users are like coming to Solana, and they prefer like a single chain where they can like trade NFTs, play around with meme coins, you use MMs and stuff like that, right? So if you just look at the way the market is going towards like having like a single fast chain. I still am a believer in the app chain thesis, but I think it only works at a certain scale, right? So if we had a like 10 billion users in crypto, then it makes sense to have multiple app chains where you kind of scale everything through kind of smaller chains. But the reality is that we're just not there yet. We're not there yet. It makes sense to me now in hindsight, in retrospect, that it makes sense to me now to kind of try to make a single chain successful and have it have a lot of liquidity, a lot of volume, and then scale only when needed, right? So to me, the option thesis, looking back on it, is a bit of like premature optimization, right? It's scalability before it's kind of actually needed. So I mean, I'm allowed to change my mind, right? Like when there's when there's new information coming in, I learn from it and adapt. So that's just kind of how I feel about it now.
Also, that's a totally solid answer, and I can't disagree with you. So, rock on, keep just doing awesome stuff.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Adam. That's my old D&D partner. We played Crypto Dungeon D&D, maybe one session, I think. But thanks for coming up. And Puff jumped up from Expedition. So feel free to go ahead with your question, buddy. Puff, can you hear me?
Hear me? Yes, do you hear me? Amazing. And actually, I don't have a question. I have a suggestion to Shane. First of all, thank you so much for sharing your ideas and your vision public. And I want you to make that more often, because I see that Stargaze make a lot of noise right now in the cosmos. You have a collaboration with Mantra, with Initia. That sounds amazing. You're looking in global targets. That's actually pretty good. But I also want you and team to focus on Stargaze, because you have released a lot of projects, a lot of things, but here are a lot of bugs you have to fix first. Because if you're planning to onboard a lot of people to Stargaze, everything might work very well. And maybe if you don't have enough people in team to onboard new people to your team, and also I want you to trust your community, to trust your ambassadors and share your ideas, speak with them, work with them, because your ambassadors can also spread the word in the community. I really don't want to fight that situation. Maybe it's not such important what happened today, because Cosmos Hub is always good. And if you're making collaboration with ADA or something like that, that's amazing. But please don't forget about your community.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the feedback. I mean, the community is why we're here, right? Is why we built. And you guys are first priority. And working with Interchain Labs, and kind of tapping into their resources is like only going to help Stargaze, right? Going to help with like liquidity, with exposure, with tokenomics, all that kind of stuff, right? So I kind of see it as a win-win. So that's why I kind of want to try and make this happen. I think it'll help make Stargaze bigger and better for all of us.
Thank you, Puff. We've got B-Bands hopped up. So Queen Bee, how are you?
I'm doing good. Hi Shane, I just had a quick question. How's it going? Pretty good. Can you guys hear me, or is it too much background noise?
Oh, we got you.
Okay, sweet. So I think it's a great idea. I am thinking about how the chains have to be secure and you need validators and stuff. And if the validators were all like from Stargaze went to Cosmos, and if Stargaze went to Cosmos, it would be more secure and it would not take away liquidity from the Atom token. So I think it's a great idea. My question is, how long for something like this to roll out? Like, would you be able to like have something like that rolled out? If
Yeah, there's
if
a
it
lot of
happen.
a lot of things to figure out. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a couple of months, right? So that's part of kind of the discussions that we're having and trying to figure out, if it's feasible, how is it going to all work, right? So, I mean, this hasn't happened too many times, right? There's only been like it hasn't really happened where like another blockchain was like kind of like be merged with or get acquired by like another one. I mean, I didn't even know what word to use there, right? So we're still kind of figuring this out, but I mean, everything's possible, right? We have a good team. They have a good team. We had to come up with a solid plan and execute on it, and had to figure out if anything could go wrong, how to counter that. We just had to come up with a solid plan. But we've gone through like so many struggles and we're still here. So we can figure this out. And I'm confident, we'll be able to build something awesome.
I'm going to let up. Martinez has a question. And then I see Natego as well. I'll bring you up after. If you guys are done speaking, by the way, I know there's a few people asking to come up. So if you don't have any further questions, if you don't mind hopping down, but I really appreciate everybody jumping up to make your comments. Natego. Oh, did she disappear? You can. Oh, here we go. Martinez is up. There we go. Sorry, I got confused there. Martinez, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm good. Hope you are also too. And I have a few questions and be honestly, and I think it's the only way to be honest. Maybe it will be some kind of tough questions, but I'm curious about few things about tokenomics, Stargaze, I mean about token stars, and I really can't explain myself or understand why never the stars tokenomics never be fixed or changed, because for now it's the tokenomics from start. I mean it's around 2022, but 3 years passed and we in 2025, and I'm curious why never fix it tokenomics, because in my personal opinion it's broken. Or if you're looking around for another projects from ecosystem like, I don't know, Injective or Osmosis, they are just holding their hands on pulse and try to figure out and find the best way for token holders, new one or older one, to fix their tokenomics, because 3 billion to stars, it's a lot, it's a huge amount, and why it's never be fixed by, I don't know, deflation systems or anyhow. And second part of these questions, I'm curious how it will help if we use start pool BTC stars, how it will help to improve stars, because for now I want to say honest, I see a lot of comments in different community, I mean in all around the world, that stars token reputation is just going down and it's there. I mean it's compromised. How you will fix this is my first question.
Yeah, that's a loaded question, but thanks for asking it, and I'll try to answer it to the best of my abilities. So, let me see. Tokenomics is widely misunderstood. If a, I think, so if a token isn't performing as as people expect, everyone's just kind of quick to jump on saying, "Oh, it's tokenomics, must be the tokenomics," right? What a lot of people don't realize is that token performance almost has nothing to do with tokenomics. It's like 90% to do with narrative, right? So if you look at performance of any token, if you look at stars in the early days in 2021, it didn't like go up to almost 1 billion in market cap because of tokenomics, because the market phase wasn't even launched yet. It wasn't doing any volume, right? It went up high because of the narrative, because it was the NFT hype cycle, right? And if you look at today, like if you look at Mantra is doing well because there's a RWA hype cycle. There's AI tokens that are doing well, and why are AI tokens doing well? It's not because people aren't using any of these products. Is that they're more of a meme coin for the AI narrative, right? So that's the first thing to understand. It has like nothing to do with tokenomics, like maybe 10% to do with tokenomics. So, projects can come in and they can, add burn mechanisms, they can add, all kinds of utility and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, really, like most of this stuff is narrative. So that's the first thing to like really understand. I would say maybe 80% of token performance is tied to narrative. Now, I wish that wasn't the case. I wish it was actually tied to the product. But being in this industry for as long as I have, there's like almost no relation between product and token. They're two completely different things. You can have an amazing product with a shitty token. You can have an amazing token with a shitty product, and that's actually the majority of crypto. The majority of crypto is shitty products with tokens. That being said, Stars was one of the very first Cosmos tokens ever to have a burn mechanic in it. It was the very first Cosmos token ever to have real yield on it, right? So the tokenomics is great. It's just that people don't care. That's not the stuff people care about. People care about narrative. And most token holders, most investors are not users of the product. Okay, so like 90% of the people that are trading stars, they're just trading it for the token. They're not actually using the marketplace. They're using the product, right? So this stuff is a very, very hard problem to solve. When Stargaze first launched in 2021, none of the exchanges even supported Cosmos assets, right? So this is a bit of a drawback of being an app chain, is that if you want exchange support, you have to like manually like get all these exchanges to add support for a new blockchain. And if you're on the smaller side, it's nearly impossible to even have those conversations. You had to like know someone who like works at Kraken or whatever and get them to add you and stuff like that. It's just insanity. So like the stuff isn't easy. And I think some of I don't want to keep using this as a scapegoat or anything like that, but Stargaze suffered, the token suffered some issues early on, right? It was rugged for $7 million. So like, right now there's about like 300K of liquidity. It should actually be $7.3 million worth of liquidity, but it's not, right? So like these are all things that are we're trying to fix, right? These are things that we're trying to fix. Adding the BTC pools is a massive step in the right direction, because that will fix the liquidity issue, right? So that would bring in something like another 100K of liquidity, right? Like money doesn't come from thin air. We can't just like, oh, we're going to add $20 million of liquidity to stars. Like, where's that money going to come from, right? So like we're doing the best we can with the resources that we have to make everything better, right? Stars did have burn mechanics in it, right? It did like all the fees went to the stakers and all that kind of stuff. The tokenomics are great. As I said, it's the narrative part of it which has the most value. Now, if we do, if this deal goes through and we do kind of sync up with Interchain Labs and start working with them, now we have a nice, strong narrative, right? We're going to work with Interchain Labs. We're going to get on the hub. We're going to get all these new users. We're going to, have all this extra liquidity and so forth, right? So everything we're doing is like trying to make things better for the stakeholders, right? Like we understand that things aren't going perfectly right now, and like our entire goal is to make all this stuff better, right? It's impossible to kind of like time the market and know where things are going to go. Like right now, a lot of people are just, the reality is that right now a lot of people are just they're dumping all their assets and they're putting into meme coins in Solana, right? Or they're putting it into BTC, right? These are like macro market level things that we don't have any control over, right? All we have control over is trying to make Stargaze the best it is, and trying to add more use cases for stars, right? And we have a lot of ideas about what we want to do. I think we've already talked about a few things, like having like a priority whitelist for star stakers, creating this liquidity pool. We have a bunch of more ideas. It's impossible to work on all this stuff at once, so we're just gonna take it step by step. But bringing more value to stars is definitely something that's something that we want to do. So that was a lot at once, but hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely. And the second part, I just curious. After starting Stargaze on Cosmos Hub, maybe you will give some roadmap on 2025, and most important, maybe you will create some ambassadors program, because in my personal opinion, how I observe what's going on in last maybe 2-3 years, maybe it will really help for Stargaze get and involve more users from the different ecosystems, Celestia or never mind any ecosystem, because for now it seems it's not enough.
Yes, that's something we're very excited about, because the thing is, Atom is on like every centralized exchange, right? So now there's even less friction for people to get into Stargaze and start using Stargaze and swap into stars, right? Like it is gonna be one less step, and it just make it super easy. And Skip has like the Skip API and stuff like that, and they are working on like transfers from like Solana to be super easy. So if and when we can make this kind of deal go through, where we're gonna have like a intense focus on like UX and UI, and just onboarding new people from other ecosystems, right? That's going to be kind of a big area of focus.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Martinez. Nutego, you've been waiting patiently. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Hi, everyone. Hello, Shane. I wanted to ask, what does this, if everything goes well according to plan, what does this look like? Will we still have the star token? Would there still be the star blockchain? Or where would the data be? Asking because we provide a service for Stargaze, and I'm wondering, would that become redundant? How does that look?
Yeah, I mean, still kind of figuring things out, but like in terms of data, like NFT data, like that's not going to change, right? NFT data is mostly on IPFS, and now it's even on Jackal, right? So that's not going to change. Like the only thing that will change is like the pointers, right? So like even if you look at addresses and keys, like the keys between like the Cosmos Hub and Stargaze are the same, right? So we kind of still have to figure out what to do. Like, are we going to like just migrate everything, or are we going to have, or are the users going to migrate stuff, right? Like we still have to like figure out those details. So like I don't want to share some like a half kind of flushed out thing plan with you guys. So that's why I want to like fully flush things out first, and then share more of the details once we have it. But we want to make sure that like all the existing tooling still works, Stargaze Studio still works, and like any teams that have deployed on Stargaze, like we want to talk to them and help them like move all their stuff over.
Okay, so in the new world, would there be validators for Stargaze? I'm trying to figure out what it will look like, or they will just cease to. Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, we're still working on that, so I can't normally.
Okay, so it's still early days. Okay, I'll watch the space. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Thanks, Nutego. Terrarium nodes jumped up.
Hey guys, I'm mobile right now, so forgive me if my audio's not great. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, you sound clear. Loud and
Okay, awesome. Hey guys, small time validator here for Stargaze. On the lower end of that list there. I guess just kind of to touch on a couple of things that have been discussed during this space. One, Shane, I agree with you. Stargaze's tokenomics are not the issue. I actually, the platform, the product itself, as well as after reviewing the Stargaze tokenomics and the release schedule, is actually what sold me on Stargaze as a blockchain, and why I chose it, or me and my team chose it to validate for. You and I actually touched base on this, I think yesterday or the day before on X, where the main issue with Stargaze is, like you said, low liquidity tools, low liquidity, as well as its main terror being osmosis. So we have, absurd amounts of what's the term, of exposure to osmosis. So since that's our main trading terror, so if osmosis goes down in its USD exchange rate, then that drags stars down, even if no one's selling it. I just wanted to touch on that because we talked about it yesterday. Moving on to the big news of the day, which obviously, I'm interested in because I'm an active validator for the chain. And I assume this would all be geared towards a partial set security structure, which I'm already involved in with Ellis Network being one of their governors, them having decided to go to partial set security. I guess, and I love Stargaze, so I'm not trying to be a hater. But as someone that came to the Cosmos ecosystem only within the last 4 years, I am not an Atom holder. I'm not a Cosmos Hub user. I personally, I don't see the economic incentives to move to Cosmos Hub. Like Adam said earlier, if your guys are considering a shift at all, I have no idea why you would choose Cosmos Hub. And I'm sorry for everyone that's an Atom bull in the audience, but I mean, like you said it yourself, there's no transaction volume on chain. And I think the narrative that migrating, if that's the proper term, to Cosmos Hub would bring all this exposure and all these new users. I just don't see that being true because of the data we see now. Now, granted, yes, Cosmos Hub is listed on most major exchanges, and it is one of the higher market cap Cosmos chains, but it's certainly not one of the most active. And I don't believe in the narrative that it's just going to grant all this more exposure. I mean, anyone who's in the Cosmos, we all know what Cosmos chains exist. We know what DYDX is. We know what Osmosis is. Everyone knows what Stargaze is. I mean, every chain comes to Stargaze to launch NFTs on. You know, if they're doing it for an airdrop or whatever else, you know, we see it with Tia, with Osmosis, with Ellis. Okay. So like the active users in the Cosmos ecosystem are already active users on Stargaze, the ones that want to be involved with NFTs at the very least. It's not like there's this giant active NFT user base on Cosmos Hub that is completely unaware of Stargaze's existence. And then when switching to interchain security or partial set security, all of a sudden they're now aware of it, and we have 50,000 new users coming through the door. I don't think the data supports that with what we can go and actively see with on-chain statistics. So personally, for me, regardless of how this works out for the validators, because I know any migration to the hub would nix Stargaze validators, at least as sovereign validators, because you guys would either, you know, move as an L2 over there as in like a token project, or, you know, you would do partial set security, which would use Cosmos Hub validators. You know, and maybe that would retain us current Stargaze validators as governors or whatever governance system you guys enact there. I just wanted to say that from a user perspective, as someone that came to the Cosmos ecosystem over the last 4 years now, one, I'm not really bullish on Atom personally, just because of what I see there. And then two, like, I don't see that the Cosmos Hub is this great utopia of exposure and activity. And I think that if we do decide to move over there and that does come to fruition, I think you'll see very much the same. And, you know, regardless of what you all decide, if a migration is what you decide is best for the project and the users as a whole, I kind of lean with Adam on this one with saying, I mean, I would look for, you know, if we're switching back to the monolithic chain architecture, then go to a chain that actually has activity on it.
Yeah, there's some good points there, and let me try to address those. Right. So so the thing about moving to, let's say move to another chain, right? Like let's just pick Solana as an example, right? If Stargaze moved to Solana, like then we'd be competing with Magic Eden like on their home turf, right? Like is that a good thing or a bad thing? And now we'll be trying to like take liquidity away from them and competing with them, and they have a lot more funding and stuff like that, right? Then we're competing on kind of another level. And you know, why does Solana need another like NFT marketplace, right? And then, you know, let's say we deploy on like Ethereum, then now we're competing with Blur and like all the other projects on there too, right? So I don't think it makes sense for Stargaze to move into onto another chain that's going to be competitive, that already has established ecosystem, right? the thing about moving to Cosmos Hub is that the ICL Interchain Labs, they're a very solid team, and I'm thinking of like the future plans that they have. Right, I'm not looking at the current state of Cosmos Hub. I'm looking at the future state of Cosmos Hub, where so Skip and which is Interchain Labs now. Like, we're not the only team that they're talking to. Right, they're talking to several teams. They're thinking about building this very competitive ecosystem there. So that is kind of what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking to like the next generation of Cosmos Hub, and it's very hard to build a product and also deal with liquidity and all the token part of it at the same time. So one advantage we have working with Hub is that like we get all this Atom exposure, we get all this centralized exchange exposure, right? It's just a from like the perspective of our team is it just makes our job easier so we can focus more on the product, right? Because right now our attention is taken away from the product because there's like a million things you have to think about as a very small team to build an app chain and focus on an app chain, right? So this kind of combining and working with the Interchain Labs team kind of enables us to kind of move faster and build how we want, right? Yeah.
I mean, that's completely understandable. And like I said, I'm not trying to come off aggressive here, and that's completely understandable about what you said about not wanting to compete with other monolithic chain applications that already have a foothold in those chains. Obviously, that'd be ridiculous. If anything, I would suggest migrating to a chain that has, if you were going for the like strictly an application layer structure, then I would say transitioning to a Cosmos chain that currently has more activity on it than Cosmos Hub. But if you were going to do partial set security, well, I guess that's a question I have on my part, just to get the naggingness out of my head, because I already had being a validator rugged on me one time before. Are you? And I know it's super early stages, and this is one of the discussions I plan on being extremely active in as that goes down in the coming months. But are you guys more leaning towards like just an app on Cosmos Hub and everything is more or less handled and settled in Atom and Stars is just a token? Or are you guys thinking you're still a consumer chain utilizing the partial set security model?
Yeah.
And then you would transition your validators to governors or something.
That stuff we're still thinking over. I do have a preference on kind of migrating to the hub itself. Right, it's a lot less work that we have to do, lots less moving parts, fewer moving parts. Stargaze still has stars, right? It doesn't make sense for Stargaze's governance to be taken over by Atom governance. That makes no sense because Stargaze has its own community, right? So that's why we kind of had to come up with a plan to make this work and to make the token work, right? And that includes coming up with new kind of models and utility for the token, right? So we talked about priority whitelist. We talked about a loyalty program. Like lower trading fees for people that stake and so forth, right? We kind of had to figure out, how will we transition the governance? Would it be a DAO on the hub or whatever? Like I'm really like I really don't want to get into too much detail with that stuff right now because you haven't figured that stuff out yet, right? So like I don't want to like open up the floodgates to just like insane amount of questions until we have the stuff like all kind of
course.
Yeah.
Of course. And I'm sorry to put you on the spot about it. I saw the tweet earlier and I was just like, well, what is this all about? We just did an upgrade, the other day and another one's coming. So just wanted to tamp down on some of that anxiety, I guess, about what's going on moving forward. Because I actually had this happen to me on Mars Protocol too. So they switched, they migrated as well. So yeah, man. Like I said, no hate on my side. Just really wanted to get some clarification from you guys. Look forward to see what's gonna happen moving forward. And hope you guys can figure it out.
Yeah, thanks for the question, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot for coming up. So we have Florin wants to come up. I really, I feel so bad for Donnie and Yo-Yo who are hanging up here. This is a really, really good conversation. Generally speaking, so much appreciation for all the everyone's questions, and also Shane, your candidness in answering them. But yeah, just want to give a quick shout out to Yo-Yo and Don who are hanging out. Ready to talk about drama queens and sneaky in a little bit. So we got Florin came up. Florin's got a question. Go ahead, Florin.
Oh, you know what? I don't need to fill any space for my friends.
I think you're the last one, Florin. I think it's okay.
I just wanted to ask a quick question about Stardex, and if there's like anybody currently actively working on like maintaining that dex, because it has some like fatal flaws that need to be rectified. And if not, like maybe I don't know, like maybe that there needs to be something done to the front end, because like the routing of certain traits are like not working at all. And it would be great if either that was fixed or if it was just like toggle that stuff off just because it's broken.
Yeah, thanks for the feedback, man. Just like DM one of us like the issues you're having with it, and like at this point we just want to make sure it's in a functional state. But then like after we have like things a bit more secure, then we can get back to like building on it and making it better. But like at this point, we just want to make sure to kind of get it into a functional state. Like I know it's nowhere near as like good in terms of like UI UX as like the rest of the apps. But it's still kind of like a work in progress. But we do want to make it functional.
Okay, yeah. There's like zero liquidity pools that trades route through, and so it creates insane prices. I brought up on the Stargaze Discord a few times, but I don't know if there's anybody that knows how to fix that. It is, I would say it's not functional. That would be my take on it. Is that it doesn't function.
All right, thanks. Yeah, we'll take a look at that and see what we can do if we're gonna maybe cut out some features or something. And I'll take a look at that. Thanks.
You can move me down, Brady.
I'm not that good at spaces. I don't know how to do it. You got to voluntarily jump down.
I don't know how to do that either.
All right. Thanks a lot for coming up, man. I think actually B-Band's requested to come back up. So maybe you had a follow-up question or comment.
Okay, so this is actually almost like completely off topic, because I want to give Shane a break and I want to ask him something just totally left field, if that's okay. My question is, since Ross Ulbricht's been set free and pardoned by Trump, do you think that Sam Bankman-Fried should also get a Trump pardon?
Should I? Oh man, I think those guys are completely different leagues. I'm very happy that Ross is pardoned. I got into crypto by using Silk Road back in the day. So I'm very happy to see that. I heard that he's working on some new projects, so kind of curious about what those are. SBF, he damaged the ecosystem so much. I never liked that guy. I don't really care what happens next.
We agree on something.
If anybody wants to know how I feel about SBF, you should check out. There's an NFT collection on Stargaze called Shitmos, and he's one of the characters.
Is he getting shit on? He's getting shit on. I know it.
He is stuck into a pile of shit. Well, various versions of him. The bank bot is probably the best version, I would say.
Never miss a chance to get a little plug in there, Lauren.
I'll show all of it.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to mention, just in addition, when Terrarium was up, about the hub and like exposure to new audiences for Stargaze, that's something that's being pursued by like Intergaze. right? Intergaze is a launch pad in the Initial ecosystem. It's going to be the primary NFT launch pad there. That's an opportunity for people to launch, using the launch pad and then migrate NFTs to Stargaze marketplace to trade, right? So there is a lot of active initiatives for that exposure as well. And I think that, the team is pursuing like those opportunities as well. You have, the focus on like one marketplace, but what are like the on-ramps to that, right? What are all the different places where people can launch a collection, get some exposure to the Stargaze UI, to the Stargaze community, and then, bring NFTs over for the secondary trading as well. So just something I wanted to add, and then maybe throw back to you, Shane, for maybe some final comments or thoughts. I think it's been a really good conversation today. And then maybe we can chat with the creators after that.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Brady. Yeah, that's kind of the strategy that we're thinking about, right? Having launch pads in multiple places, enabling projects to launch their collections in multiple places, and then kind of bring it back to the marketplace that's going to be in a singular place and have all the liquidity there and kind of trade over there. So this is a bit of like a contrarian take. It's a little different from, maybe like the Magic Eden approach or whatever, whereas they're just deploying on like every chain, right? So we want to try this and see how things go, but I think that's kind of a strategy that we're working on. And this is kind of where kind of Cosmos Text helps, because we have IBC, right? And we can have NFTs being transferred over IBC. So Intergaze is kind of the first like kind of outpost of Launchpad, and let's see how things go there. But yeah, pretty excited for that. And if you guys have any more questions about this stuff, just feel free to hit me up on X or whatever, on Discord. Happy to kind of chat through things.
Yeah, and I also want to make a comment that the team is like really pays close attention to feedback from the community. I know, Puff, you did like a thread that was like suggestions in December. I think a lot of people from the team commented on it, and like we all like went over it really thoroughly, between us in a chat and things like that. So all that stuff is like really, really welcome, and it's part of what has made Stargaze the success it is so far. Is this like persistent feedback, suggestions, where things can be improved and so on. So there's nothing but like appreciation for that, even if it's like tough feedback, right? I just want to give a thanks, for everyone that's like cares enough about the product to take their time and make a suggestion on what should be improved or ask tough questions and so on.
Thanks guys for staying strong, because it's not easy to hear negative feedback. I love Shane, so how he's emotional, because I know that it's not easy for him right now for speak in that difficult terms to explain everything, but you did brilliant job, and I hope you at least once a month jump to our sessions on Stargaze, and we'll speak about that, and maybe it will help community to grow up in future.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it a lot.
All right, Donnie, how are you doing today? Actually, wait, Homestead, how are you? Which one of us is hosting this component? Did you want to take over, or it might be going late for you?
No, I'm gonna have to go pick up my daughter. School's about to let out. Yeah, you're on the main handle there, bro. So it says host under you, or it says speak. So you're hosting this space.
All right, cool. Well, I appreciate the pinning and so on, and hanging out for the duration of it. I guess we'll maybe start with Donnie. Did you want to say a little bit about what's going on with Sneaky these days? We're doing these spaces in weeks we don't have a featured project to kind of highlight more creators and projects that have been on Stargaze for some time, that have kind of proven themselves with regards to their like commitment to the community, growing their brand, that have like experimented with the site, doing lots of different things like Sneaky has. So it's good to have you as well as Yoya up to chat a little bit about, just what's going on with your projects. So please go ahead, Donnie.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon. Can you guys hear me clear on your end?
Yeah, you're coming through clear.
Cool. I'm not sure how much time I have. Give me a time limit, Brady, so I can be too short or too long.
Yeah, like 15 seconds probably, I'd say. No. I think we can go for a little while, at least for me personally. I'm sure Shane probably has to bounce pretty quick at some point, but I'm happy to go for an hour or, as long as you guys need, right? So,
Okay.
Then bounce, guys. I actually had a 3 o'clock that I'm late for, but I'll chat with you guys later. All right. Thank you.
He's like, I can go on for an hour. And then Shane's like, I gotta go.
Sorry, guys. Bye.
so yeah, the floor is yours, Donnie.
Cool. Yeah, so first of all, I appreciate the time. What's so crazy is that the last 2 times that we came up on like a Stargaze feature spaces, each of those times Shane popped in like randomly, and he rarely comes in these spaces. So it's like so that law of attraction happening. But yeah, my name is Donnie. I work on the Sneaky Productions team. And I'm the voice of the team, along with doing a few other things to help out with the project. So yeah, what I'll do, I'll just talk about like a few things that as a project we accomplished in 2024, and then go into a few things that we're doing for this year, if that's okay, Brady. All right, so I'll just jump into it. So Sneaky Productions, for those that don't know, we are an NFT collective. We have in total 3 main NFT collections, which are Sneaky Animals, Sneaky Stuff, and Sneaky Transformation, which did drop in 2024. And we do have a new collection actually dropping this weekend, which I'm gonna touch upon in the next minute or so. But regarding like accomplishments because we've been around since 2023. When 2024 came, what we did put out was that we put out the Sneaky Transformation collection, which is our rarest collection of 200 NFTs depicting different aspects of crypto and pop culture, which I would highly recommend for you guys to check into on Stargaze. We also released our own token, the Sneaky token, which was airdropped to our community and certain Stargaze communities. And that token was actually one of the first tokens to utilize Stargaze's tech to, be put out, which is it's essentially a meme token, but we're adding utility to it, and you guys will see that over the coming months. We also have our own website that's up and running, and what's really cool is that we're really big on just taking whatever that we make and reinvesting it back into our product and our brand. So as of right now, we have 2 devs that are working very ferociously in the background developing our website. So that's looking really awesome, with a lot of cool things happening for 2025 with that, which I'll touch upon in a second. We also put out Sneaky plushies. So a lot of you guys have maybe seen these on the timeline of like different NFT projects, but we came out with our plushies first based on our NFTs. So we had the Happy Pig plushie, which is based on our Sneaky Animal NFT. The Jack Penguin plushie, which is also based on a Sneaky Animal NFT. And then we also put out the Bit Girl plushie, which is based off of our Sneaky Transformation Kathy Wood NFT. And what's really cool is that in conjunction with Stargaze, we were the first NFT collection that fully utilized Stargaze's real world asset minter. So we also have that under our belt. And what's cool is that with the plushies, we had a goal of actually being that go-to to produce plushies for other entities. So we have partnered over the last few months with Celestine Sloths to do their plushies, which you guys will most likely see in the timeline. Osmosis partnered with us, and we did their plushies, which were distributed at Cosmoverse. We put out about 300 of those that were given out for free at Cosmoverse. And we also, as you maybe have seen on the timeline, we have the Mad Scientist plushie that just came out last month that we partnered with the Mad Scientist with. So yeah, we are on it with that. And what's really cool is that with our real world assets, starting with the plushies, we have a shared revenue aspect. So whenever a plushie or one of our feature products are sold, a portion of the revenue will be put back and shared with our holders, which we're really, really excited about, and really, really excited about taking that to another level. And yeah, just kind of jumping into just 2025 and what we have on the plate. We have something coming out called Sneakypedia. So essentially we have, as I said, 3 main collections right now. which is Sneaky Animals, Sneaky Stuff, Sneaky Transformation, and we have Sneaky People coming out in a few days. But basically, there's stories that we've been working on behind all of these characters in these collections. And pretty much on our website, basically a Wikipedia for all those characters is going to be on our website, which is going to be interactive, called Sneakypedia. So that should be up and running, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But I'll be up and running in 2025. Also, if you guys see on the timeline, we actually just dropped our sneaky trading cards, which are really, really, really cool. And what's amazing is that we just put that out late this morning. And that's, you can access it through the link. I think the link I put on the header there. But so far, we've sold 125 packs of those cards so far, and we haven't really like done a push with that yet. But we sell those in packs of 5 cards a pack, 5 packs in total for each order. So you'll see that on the link above, but they're really, really cool. Again, this is a real world asset, quote unquote. So whenever each pack is sold, a portion of the revenue is shared with our holders. And what we do is that we actually, whenever we get revenue from these sales, we actually use the revenue and buy our sneaky token off the market and then distribute it to our holders in some way or another. So if you look on that link on the top, you'll see how we're actually distributing that revenue, which is going to be, in this case, to holders of 3 of our 4 main collections. They're the ones that are going to share in that revenue for sneaky trading cards, which have already sold 125 packs within the first few hours. So we're super excited about that. And yeah, one big thing I want to mention also is that we're very big on reinvesting back into ourselves and back into our business and back into our brand. So in 2025, like, we are laser beam focused on a marketing push that is going to be within the interchain, but also outside of the chain, and that this in the real world, Web 2, Web 1, however you want to call it. So so pretty much the high majority, if not pretty much most of our revenue and royalties will be reinvested back into marketing. So we will be making an appearance, and we're pushing for appearances in different Comic-Con events. And that's a big thing, so we can actually get some of our real world assets out there. And the cool thing with that is that with doing something like that, where we have kiosks set up, showing what we do, we want to actually use that as a bridge for people on the outside world to see what we're doing, but bridge them back over into, the blockchain, bridge them into Stargaze. So we're going to make a major focus of doing that this year. We have a few other events in mind that I can't disclose that what we're going to be going into, but yeah, it's gonna be a huge marketing push that we're very, very excited about. And lastly, I just want to mention, just to be conscious of people being on here for so long, we do have our Sneaky People mint that is dropping actually on Saturday. So what's really cool about that, and what's really cool about all of our collections, is that every one of our main collections, Audience and Brady, are 100% hand-drawn art. Okay, so pen to paper, or as we say, crayon to paper. And with this collection, it's the same thing. So it's 999 pieces for Sneaky People, all hand-drawn, pen to paper, no copy and paste traits. Every single piece of art is done fresh, which is a rarity, especially when it comes to PFP-based collections. So our artist and founder and creative genius, Sneaky, has literally put in hundreds of hours of work into this collection, starting in around August of 2024 and up until literally yesterday, where he was revising and finalizing the last few pieces of the collection. I highly recommend, if you're on Stargaze, which I believe everyone is on here, to look through our previous collections. I'm very, very sure you're gonna find something that you love and like at the minimum. We love combining, some crazy zany art with some how can I put it? Some maybe some social commentary, some political commentary, but all done with a cool little twist with a lot of love. But I feel that all the elements of our collections, Sneaky Animals, Sneaky Stuff, and Sneaky Transformation, are just combined in a beautiful gumbo, if you will, to produce what you see in Sneaky People. Like, I feel it's one of the best collections on Stargaze, period. If you guys are gonna see the work, you can see the attention to detail, the combination of traits to the art. It is a banger of a collection. So as of right now, the whitelist for that collection are pretty much filled. We're actually just trying to put everything and finalizing things on the test net. And I want to shout out Sirkin if he's on here right now. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, Brady. Sirkin?
Sirkin, you got it. Yeah.
Okay, Sirkin. Okay, he was a freaking super helpful with helping us get everything in order with the test net over the last few days. So just want to shout you out, bro. Thank you so much. That's what I mean. One thing, you guys can criticize Stargaze about different things, but one thing you can't criticize Stargaze about is their help behind the scenes and their tech people. Everyone from Sirkin to Brady, who I converse with a lot, to freaking Stardy. Like, you guys are incredible. So and just tying in with that last few things, like I mean, my personal interpretation of this Sneaky People collection, for me, it's like a homage to the goodness of the interchain, of the goodness of Stargaze. So, we've literally been on this push, Brady, where since the beginning of October, we've been on this like person by person promotional campaign about what we're doing, but we've been literally just connecting with people on a one-by-one basis. So we could have, based on previous collections, we could have just said, you know what, we're going to have a regular white list. For tier 2, we'll have Bad Kids, Celestine Sloths, Mad Scientists. They all get white lists, and literally sold out the collection. Had a terrible distribution of wallets. And that's not something that we wanted. We really wanted to expand our community with the right type of people. So we literally, with our whitelist process, it was a combination of our loyal holders, which we are so grateful for, but also connecting with the good people in the ecosystem that have stuck through the bullcrap that we've dealt with and grinded it out with us. Those are the people that we wanted to honor in our process in developing and connecting in developing this collection. So you get to see that in the collection. It's a lot of Easter eggs. Again, the art is freaking hilarious. It's super, super thoughtful. And again, if you have a whitelist for that collection, I would highly recommend taking advantage of it, because our mint price for the tier 1 whitelist is just $9. Tier 2 is $10. Tier 3, there was a special vote we did for that on X, if you guys are noticing. That's $11, but the floor price the minimum floor price for our collections right now, it's about, even with the stars price going down a little bit, it's about $65, $70. So, we could have jacked up in price and said, you know what, we have these $70, $80, $90, $100 collection floor prices. Let's sell this collection for $30, $40. But we have the mindset of, let's get as much people as we can into this and make the price point affordable for essentially everybody if they really wanted it. So we're starting at a $9 mid price, and but yeah, we're just really excited. I don't want to take too much time because I know you guys have been on here for a while, but yeah, we're just taking the approach of just making cool stuff, making fun stuff. We talked about an NFT Nashville, making NFTs fun again. There's so much dissension, there's so much drama, like it seems like in the interchain, but we want to bring that aspect back, because I'm gonna tell you right now, when I first got into NFTs after being in crypto for a little bit, I saw NFTs as an escape from the horrors of just the world, the horrors of even crypto. It was an escape for me. It was a place where I wanted to have fun. And if you really take the time to look at what Sneaky Productions is doing and what we're all about, it is literally what I came to crypto for, which is why I became a member of the team. So yeah, we're just excited. What's super cool is that we made an adjustment to our roadmap, Brady, because we actually completed our roadmap. Like, how many NFT projects can actually say we put out our roadmap, which was 8 steps, and actually went from steps 1 through 8. So I want to say that, not to impress you, but to impress upon you that we're here to do something cool. We're here to put out product. We're here to deliver. We're like literally doing meetings, masterminds every freaking day, because we're literally obsessed with this project and bringing that fun back to NFTs. So I'm not sure if you have any questions, statements, but I just thank you and appreciate you guys' times. Thank you.
Donnie, I think you wore a pig mask to NFT Nashville. How was that experience?
It was sweaty. It was very sweaty. And but it was
I saw pictures of you on stage with doing a presentation that was, I think, make NFTs fun again, and you had like a sneaky pig mask on, and you were chatting. So I was curious about the overall experience and how that relates to what you're talking about before, with NFTs being like sort of like an escape or something fun and how that like engaged you to begin with.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, this is summation. Like I feel, especially in this ecosystem, everyone, not to say everyone, but like a lot of people are just so like uptight and like, I mean, I come from from New York City. I grew up, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. FYI, I come from an environment that's already negatives, a lot of just like always looking behind your back. Just craziness. So when I came into crypto and especially in this ecosystem, I'm just like, man, like I want to have fun, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to have fun. I want to just like, um, what's the saying? Like, lay your hair back. What's the word? Would you say like, something your hair back? Even though I don't have any hair, but yeah. So when right, what's that?
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah. So like, we just wanted to bring that fun back. And what's really crazy is that, the presentation that first of all, I would highly recommend it. Anyone on this call, the next time they have NFT Nashville, to freaking book a trip and go there. That event is so freaking amazing. Such amazing an event. And we made so much amazing connections there. I can go on a whole tangent about that, like with the connections made there, everyone from Trendy at Mad Scientist to my man Kaku, who we talked, and he actually was on the Yilmos team as one of their top devs. And we ended up through conversation and connection, ended up bringing him on our team to work with us as one of our devs. So the connections were ridiculous. But yeah, just regarding like the pig mask, like just loosen up, man. Like we are so like I don't know. We come into space, and I know we've been through a lot. I've been through a lot being in crypto and all that stuff, but like NFTs, like criticizing other people, like come on, man. Like let's have fun. Let's let our hair down. That's the saying, let our hair down. And I feel that the presentation that we did, which was crazy because the presentation I literally deleted my presentation on purpose. I'm just like, man, like this is just way too much, way too wordy. And I just put up just random pictures on my new PowerPoint, made it up literally like 10 minutes before I had to go up there and just improvise a presentation that came from the heart. So I feel like, yes, Cosmos has the best tech. Yes, Cosmos has some of the great minds, but like, where is that like cool, fun, positive energy that makes crypto and especially NFTs fun and cool? So we wanted to really portray that and evoke that in our presentation. And I think it made an impact, because by the time we were done, people were coming up to me and like, oh my gosh, like all the presentations are great, but like yours, like, man, it was just something different about it. So I feel like for us to stand out, we talked about Stargaze standing out, and like we gotta just just have fun, man. And while you're having fun, if you're in the space and you're behind a product or you're a founder, like find ways to connect with people, find ways to empower people, find ways to, like we have community members, and I really try my best to make everyone in our community feel like their word is important. Like that's something that is so important. Like everyone has an invincible sign on their chest that says, "Make me feel special." I really believe that. And I feel that sometimes some founders, they treat their community like a number. And that's why a lot of founders are struggling with retention of people, and, and community members being all disheveled and upset because they don't value their people the way they should be. So we're big on that in our community. Everyone's word, everyone's say is as important as a top person, quote unquote. Like it's something that is very important. Community is everything in crypto. So yeah, man. So that's just the mindset we had going into that event, just having fun and, taking it from there.
I wanted to ask a little bit. For the plushies, a lot of people are doing the plushies now, so they connect through Sneaky, and you guys get them sorted out. Because I've seen the a Sloths one, Mad Scientists, and maybe you have a couple others you're doing.
Yeah, man. That whole situation is a blessing, but yeah, they could just connect with Sneaky. We have, a little alpha. Like we have a few that are that are pending. I'm not sure if shoot. All right, so I'm gonna say it because he put it out on Discord. So it's not official, but we are in the process of shoot. We're in the process of one of the big ones that just allegedly came onto our Stargaze platform. We're in the process of developing their slushy right now. I won't say a name, but we have a few other ones in the works, and yeah, they'll say no.
You won't say the name. It's just one big project that recently launched on Stargaze.
Allegedly.
Gotcha.
But we have a few people that have connected with us. We're working on a lot of things in the background. Like, bro, we have so much stuff. Like, I maybe talked about 10% of the stuff we have going on this year. A lot of stuff I just can't talk about because it's pretty much pending. But yeah, just hit us up, hit Sneaky up. He's the one that negotiates that and figures it out with each person. But you can literally go around to each of the people that work with us, and not to brag, but we have fun, we joke around, but when it comes down to business, like, we are on our P's and Q's with that. So just hit us up, and we're very nice. We're very friendly. We'll figure out what works best. If it makes sense, do one for you and your project, and we'll take it from there.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate also your patience, waiting to speak today. Knowing that like we've gone for a while, I think we might switch over and say hello to Yoya. I don't know, especially with spaces, I don't know what everybody's plans are, for the rest of the day. So if anybody if you need to hop off or anything, totally understandable. But I'm going to switch over to Yoya and make sure we give her some time. So how are you doing today, Yoya?
Hello, thank you. I'm here again, and I couldn't be happier to be here with you all once more. As the proud mom of the drama queen, I feel so proud of how they continue to grow and evolve. But before anything, I just have to say thank you to this incredible community. Your support means everything to me and to the queens. A huge shout out to my amazing magic friend. I mean you, Brady, and to Rect Colbert, Dandani, Edition, the dances, Babu, Boutique Vasia, Crypto Grandma, of Five Kaipo, Heisenberg, Mitego, Gabriela Maria, Barto, Stardy, Jay, Homestead, and so many other lovely friends. Sorry if I miss anyone. You all are the best. I'm working hard to bring the drama queens to life in new ways, turning them into stickers, gifts, and even fun things in your phone. After all, they're busy, active, and always on the go, just like us. Whenever I see something cool happening, I imagine the drama queens right in the middle of it, just like their real mom. And my dear friend Brady keeps sending me amazing ideas. I jump into action, and once they're ready, I enjoy them to the fullest. It's just so much fun, honestly, I really love them. And right now, I'm thinking about a new set of stickers for the community while continuing to work on gifts. I want to keep their stories alive, and I won't stop creating. The drama queens may be performers now, but they live the everyday life just like all of. That's what makes them perfect for gifts and stickers because they reflect moments we can all relate to. And exciting news is we've just launched a Telegram group for the best community ever. Now we can chat, hang out, and have even more fun together. And about my upcoming collections, actually, I have overthinking a one-on-one collaboration smoker clubs auction will start Friday, and Cosmos Gumball machine. 10 unique pieces are coming. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer. Let's keep growing together. Thank you.
How's it been for you with collaborations, Yoya? I think you've had a lot of people request for you to contribute a one-of-one, that sort of thing. So how's that experience so far? Like working with other projects and doing, small, like one piece in a bigger collaborative collection. How's that process?
Yeah, it's cool. When you have collaboration, actually you think about other concepts, and this is fun. Because you try a new thing that maybe you didn't think by yourself, and it was fun for me. Yeah. The overthinking is one of them that is overcoming, and at Cosmos the gamble machine was before than drama queens, when I didn't launch drama queens.
How about you have the one of ones in your collection in Drama Queens where people can request and they send you like their idea of what they want it to turn into? How's that been? Because I assume you get a lot of like weird suggestions or unique suggestions, you know what I mean? So I was curious about that from your perspective.
Yeah, it's interesting, sometimes interesting suggestions, I mean ideas. It's cool. I have communicate with people have uh, close carting and request one-on-ones. I hear their ideas. Some of them are interesting. Like Jay that request. I was working on and yeah, it's interesting. It's fun.
Great. And I think there's a Yoya in the Sneaky People, if I saw. Is that right, Donnie?
Wait, sorry. Do you ask if you saw Yoya in the Sneaky People?
Yeah. I think I saw your post for the competition for whitelisting.
Okay, so the one that you maybe saw, maybe I don't think it was Yoya. I think I posted shoot, what did I post again? Darn. It was
It was a lady holding a little pink palette. So I was wondering if that was her Yoya.
no, what it wasn't Yo-Yo. However, that was Aura actually. The FYI. That was Aura.
Oh, that's all. My bad. I'm sorry.
No problem. However, we do have a dedicated piece to the great Yoya, who I love. I love. Like, let me tell you something. If I may like gloat a little bit about Yoya, like her open editions, I was on that like white on rights. Let me tell you something. Those were bangers. So before the bandwagon jump and everyone's like, "Ooh, look at this Yoya," her first open editions had me like so like they like were very touching, very moving, very beautiful to me. The little animations with them. So I'm a huge fan of her stuff. I pretty much have all of her stuff. So thank you for your art. Thank you for just coming to Stargaze area. Like I'm a huge fan. So yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Happy you like them.
So, Florin, you've been hanging out. I wanted to throw to you if you had any questions for these guys, or I wonder maybe you're waiting to talk about Cosmic Gumballs. But perhaps first, before that, if you had any comments you wanted to make or questions for these guys.
Oh no, I'm just I'm pumped to mint Sneaky People. I never got a chance to mint. I missed the mints for the other Sneaky collection, so I got some floor. I got 1 or 2 floor NFTs from the collection, and everything else I'm priced out of on Sneaky. But yeah, and just to praise Drama Queens, I absolutely love the art direction. Can't basically say what Donnie said any better about her 101 or open edition animated GIFs. As an aspiring animator myself, like I have a ton of respect and appreciation for the skill and the I guess it's like animating is like it's like a whole nother dimension of art, because you're on a timeline, and it's much more challenging, I think, for me, but also the challenge makes it more fun. And just wanted to express appreciation to Yoya for her generous and fast response on the Gumball collection collaboration. She made 10 really cool little gumballs holding little masks, and in the same art style as the Drama Queens, and they're beautiful. And yeah, compiling the art from 28 different collaborators was extremely time consuming for me, but now that it's all of that has been compiled, I'm super excited for the world to see all that beautiful art. And I finally have gotten the art generator on my end working properly. So now I'm just doing some final animations to add to the collection for the Cosmic Gumball machine, and I set my goal at the beginning of the month to launch this collection in January. And I'm still on pace to do that. I had set January 25th. That was way too ambitious. January 30th, which is still today in some time zones and will still be today in some time zones, at least for another 10 hours. Hopefully I can meet that. So if there will be hopefully at least one place on Earth where it's still January 30th when the collection launches. But if it spills into the 31st, so be it. There's no need to rush. I want this collection to be finished. I don't want to launch something that's not finished. And that means going through traits and making sure that there's no clashes, which is not super easy. And I did kind of pull all-nighter last night, so I've been kind of dragging a little bit today, and pretending that I'm at work as always during the day, because IRL, it's always knocking. But yeah, anyways, that's all I wanted to
I hear a little bit of rasp in the voice there, Farn. So I hope you're not working yourself too hard for this gumballs,
Well, you got to do it. So I just got this like emojifier working finally. And there was just like some complicated math I couldn't really figure out. But thanks to the modern marvels of technology, I had a lengthy conversation with our friend ChatGPT, and he showed me that one of my arrays was fucked up. So I fixed that, and now we're good.
Yeah, but people always think about the gumballs. They never think about, the man that fills the gumball machine, right? So it's exactly. That's great. It's cool to see like so many people collaborating in one project that you've got going there. And I think this kind of speaks to all these projects. And part of why we want to do more of these like highlight spaces is, the committed creators, the creative energy and collaboration on Stargaze is like really at the heart of it, in my opinion. Especially cases where you see like unique artists, you see their character flow through in their art, something that like people resonate with, and this whole community builds around it. I think that's just the coolest thing. And it's so cool to see how much like success we've had so far with that. I think it's like we have such a diehard like dynamic community across all these collections, and priority like number one is like having an ecosystem where they can have success, in my opinion, right? Actually, with the drama today, I don't know. Usually when there's drama, there's a bunch of people post their drama queens. I don't know if did that happen today. I'm not sure. Maybe there wasn't a mask that was like specific enough. You need to have a crypto pseudo mask in the mix there. Gioia. But yeah. I guess just to go back first to Yoya and then to Don Donnie, I think we'll probably wrap up. But Yoya, so immediate plans, what you're doing next. Right now you've been putting out like really cool GIFs and animations. I think you're kind of building like the culture around the project. Just curious what comes next for Drama Queens.
Actually, now I'm making stickers for drama queen, and about I'm continue the gifts, and just starting Telegram groups, and I'm thinking about the actually my I finished my English.
No, it's all good. No, so do you have a link for the Telegram group? Is that public or posted?
Yeah, I have a link. I can share it. I will post the Telegram link in Drama Queen's account. I can share it too.
Yeah, if you make a post, you can go ahead and pin it to the nest after.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, well, I appreciate the updates. And like you've been really active since the collection launched, with like, adding all this like kind of additional art that like kind of builds up the lore and I guess like the brand in a way, which I think is really neat. So I appreciate you coming by and giving updates on what you're working on. We'll go back to Donnie now. Maybe we can touch again quickly on like what's need to know about Sneaky Productions and what's coming next for you guys.
Yeah. Again, thank you so much for having us again, Brady. I know it was like on your tail about this. I really appreciate you giving us the opportunity to share the stage with a tremendous artist in Yoya, who I really, really admire a lot. Yeah, so again, like we're just focused on just working. We're like our team, like we literally, Brady, we act like we're like a freaking blockchain. Like we're literally masterminding every freaking day, always coming up with ideas, what's good, what's not good, trash that, put that in, implementing. But we act like we're a freaking blockchain. We act like we're a freaking business. And so 2025 is just it's just a lot that we have coming out. A lot of it I already mentioned. But the main focus right now, aside from our trading cards, which is yes, it's on the link above, is our Sneaky People Mint. You want to find a way, like I bet a lot of you guys have whitelists. If you don't, like try to get on those on the secondary market ASAP. That collection, I'm telling you right now, I'll say this: Sneaky Transformation is my favorite collection on Stargaze, period. That's our third collection. It's still minting actually, because we do a 1x1 mint for that week by week, and we kind of halted it just to finish Sneaky People. But I will say, despite all of that, that Sneaky People is our best collection, and I'm telling you right now, one of the best collections that Stargaze has put out. So I would highly recommend, if you have a whitelist, tap into that. It's going to be a hot one. Utilize that. Not financial advice. And secondary market, if you don't have a whitelist, jump on that like heavy. And it's fun. It's bringing culture. You talk about, it's about the culture, for the culture. This collection is for the culture or the counterculture. So we're very proud of that. And yeah, just look into our collections. Like, look at what we have already on the blockchain on Stargaze. We have a lot of open editions on Stargaze, including Sneaky Food, which is pretty cool. Our Sneaky Token, look into that. We're going to add more utility to that over the next few months. Not financial advice. And yeah, it's just a lot going on, bro. And you're going to see like the things that we are going to unfold. Things are already in the works. They'll pop up on the timeline. But it's just so much more to come. And we're just really excited about the future of Sneaky and whoever else wants to come in our beautiful synergy. We love to add you into the fam. So thank you, everybody. Thank you again.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming up, and good luck on the launch. I think you said a few times, highly anticipated. I think so. I think people are looking forward to it, and it's cool that you have this like mix of characters from the ecosystem represented there. It's gonna be pretty fun. I'll throw to Flarn, see if Flarn has any additional comments before we wrap up.
No, I just love the opportunity to kind of come up here and participate in the community. I think the Stargaze has a very strong core community, and I want to do everything in my power to ensure that it has success. So like one of the things, like with gumballs, for example, I'm trying to use like all the tools that are built on Stargaze to like really push the limits of like what's been built. Like these devs have built these cool things, so I use them. Like for example, Gumballs is using 3 splits contracts because I basically need to split the funds that come from the mint to 2 other split contracts because there's too many wallet addresses that are going to be receiving the proceeds from the mint. So like for example, every single artist that generated at least 10 Gumballs is going to receive 1.5% of all of the mint proceeds and 1.5% of all of the royalties for forever from this collection. And there's 28 participants. Now, some of them didn't do 10 gumballs. They only did, let's say, 1 or 2 or 3. So those people are going to get 0.75% of the mint and 0.75% of the royalties, for forever. And then there's going to be this other split contract that's like for all the projects that I've been involved in. We call it the Flarn Chain Extended Universe. And that includes like the shitmost folks. So like there's the DAOs, they're going to get the a big portion of the tokens. There's this like buying of shitmost that I'm building into my projects. That's going to be is going to go towards some of that. And then there's going to be other stuff for like frogs holders, and the Proto Towers royalties wallet is a part of every one of my projects, which Brady, you're on there. because you made a prototype, and there's other people here that maybe have done one as well. And I think that ultimately, like, we're in a situation where I think that if people who had launched, some people who have been working so hard making collections on Stargaze, it's like, together we're stronger. I guess I'll put it that way. And so I'm trying not to feel a little bit, disheartened by the way that like the announcement played out, like with Stakesito. And then, I'm glad that Shane came onto the space and talked and stuff. But ultimately, like, and I know that he mentioned your narrative is so important, but at the end of the day, like, the most important thing is if there's more buyers than sellers of the token. And right now there's more people selling stars than buying stars. So the price has been going down. And it's unfortunate for all those people that have like been buying and staking and trying to really like support the ecosystem. And I just want everyone here that's listening to know that like I've poured like an enormous amount of like time and effort into this. And the only amount of money that I've extracted from projects, which was basically prototypes in like the first month and a half. And the reason why I extracted was because, well, Stars was pumping, so that was great. But also because I had to pay like medical bills for my dog. So I used that money to pay my dog medical bills. And that was it. And I think I think that people who create as a living, like they should be able to make money from that. And I'm here for that, and I want to help make that happen. And that's super important to me, because I think that people who are able to make beautiful things should be able to do that. And they should be able to make a living making beautiful things, because that's what makes life worth living.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Florin. Hey, you touched on a few things there, so maybe I'll just leave it. I'm not gonna go try to go through everything you said. I wanted to say quickly, just if anybody wanted to jump up for a question for Yoya or Donnie, you're more than welcome to. Feel free to request the mic. I should say that, before we wrap up, because we didn't really get an opportunity for questions for the creators today because of this sort of broader discussion about, I guess, the fate of Stargaze in some way. One thing you said, Florin, that like really resonates with me is like the reinvestment in the eco. I can like say for me, like with Signal, all we did with the funds was like we held stars, staked stars, and then like bought NFTs from other projects. For me personally, it's like last year or so, like I'm a huge kind of holder in all these projects. And it's really amazing to be part of an ecosystem where you can be kind of like just constantly supporting either like an artist that you just like, or a project that you like what you're doing. And there's this interesting overlap. I wish we had a really good way of visualize this. But like the overlap between holders and projects and how they're all intertwined, because I think that is something that's really strong on Stargaze. And so like, I'd love to see, I don't know, I wish I could just like snap my fingers and get like a bubble map, you know what I mean? Of how Proto Towers overlaps with Drama Queens, overlaps with Sneaky Productions, and so on. But that, like bringing value to that is the primary goal. There's many, many ways you could do so when it comes to like expanding or like, migrating or whatever the options might be. And it's good that it's an open discussion. I think it's unfortunate that, something that was very preliminary, there's kind of just like a random Cedo post made today. And then people are like, oh, this is all confirmed. There must have been a huge deal that nobody knows about, but like, which is not the case. It's something that when things are in very early like ideation, you want to be able to present, okay, these are like the rough parameters, right, for people to assess. So we were working on that, but everything's an open conversation now. So we'll see. And at the end of the day, like any deal like that has to make sense. It has to be something that benefits the stars stakeholders, whether that's people who stake stars, whether that's projects on Stargaze, right? So we're going to have an open discussion about it, I guess, which I think is good in the end, even if it was like an awkward morning to wake up to. But I want to give a big thanks to the projects hanging out here today. Yoya, Donnie on behalf of Sneaky, or part of the team with Sneaky, as well as Flarn with the upcoming gumballs. I contributed some as well. They're not quite as good as yo-yos, but I think they look okay. Thank you so much, and I hope everybody has a great day. There's going to be like an art DAO space, I think, tomorrow. So I'll probably join that and chat as well. And we'll see you next week for a featured creator discussion with Fruitopia, who I see is in the audience. Just wanted to give a shout out to him. He's got that ongoing competition for, I think, like the first stage of his whitelist, where if you create a fruit with like legs and arms and take a picture of it, you'll get a whitelist spot. So if anyone wants to maybe take a break from Twitter and drama and whatnot, maybe make yourself a fruit. Okay, thanks guys. Have a great day.